how to go from first message to phone number, my full system breakdown. So, why should you listen to me? I've built a top 1% profile on Hinge and pull in around 30, 40 likes a day consistently. Plus, I convert about 90% of my matches into actual numbers. And when we switch to texting, I know exactly how to turn them into dates. So, what I'm about to share isn't theory, it's a system I use and I've got the proof. So, as you can see, some notifications, some chats. This is a 45-second recording of how I got 67 likes in 3 hours. This is also my profile as well, so you know I'm not bullshitting. This is me on the standout page, so receiving roses. As you can see, every minute, every couple of minutes. And these are just some of the girls that I get on the daily. And this is just a handful of the numbers I get from these girls. So yeah, you get the point. The biggest leverage you can give yourself in online dating is having a profile that is in the top 1%. When you do this, you are literally playing on easy mode. You saw my results above. You get the results when you're in the top 1% of profiles. So you're probably thinking, how do I get a profile in the top 1%? This process is called profile alchemy. Profile alchemy means optimizing your profile to grab her attention, build attraction, and create curiosity and mystery. Your first photo must grab her attention. The rest of your photos build attraction, and then your prompts create curiosity and mystery. So let me show you how I crafted my profile with these principles in mind. So as you can see here, if I just zoom in on my first photo, so my first photo is a balcony shot. There's a sunset in the background. It's very eye-catching. I'm in a nice double white piece. I've got this as my first photo because I want to, when the girls are like swiping off guys, this is the first thing they see. I want them to catch the sunset, the balcony shot. I'm in white, it's bright. And obviously I look good in it as well, so it amplifies that. So this is what grabs her attention. And then the second and third shot, I'm in a nice checked shirt, a nice street background. I'm in a nice pose, it's a masculine look. My third photo is like restaurant vibes, so like this is, the thought of this is like obviously to show my face close up, but it's also to get her to visualize what I will look like on a date with her. So I'm already like planting that future with her. Fourth photo is, me in a nice, well-fitted outfit. Got the loafers on, got the sunglasses on as well. So like it's a bit of mystery about me as well. Fifth photo, just another street photo in a shirt, and then my last photo, which is another banger, is me in a tuxedo, showing that I can dress up as well as like being in casual fits as well. So like I got a good range of clothing here, well fitted clothing, good backgrounds, good settings, good locations, and I look good in every single one of them. There's no weak photos here because they all get likes, they all get comments, and that's how you should be building your profile with that in mind. So then I have my prompts. So my greatest strength is keeping you in your feminine state. The one thing I'd like to know about you is what crazy arguments you start after a few drinks. My most irrational fear, your birthday is way too close to Christmas. So, I swap these in and out. I got a range that I go through. But this one is tapping into like the female attraction, masculine thing that they like, the dominant man. And especially when you have your profile like this, you can say shit like this because I look like I back it up as well. And then I'm coming in with a bit of humor here. So like, what crazy arguments would you start after a few drinks? Because like some girls get a bit crazy and stuff. So like, it's just a bit of humor and essentially starting a conversation as well. I get a lot of comments on this, which prompts me to have it makes the conversation start and flow good. And then obviously this one's another funny one as well, which girls like. But with this one, you get like both ends of the spectrum. So you get girls who say, oh, is November or January too close? Have I made the cut? They sort of say that. And then you get the other end of the spectrum, which is like, oh, I'm in June and July. Am I safe? Sort of thing. That's what they say with that one. So 3 good prompts. Chuck them in your profile if you haven't already. Give them a test, see if they work for you. So your profile should be doing the heavy lifting for you. The matches, the likes, and the comments should be coming to you. If your profile is weak, you're already fighting an uphill battle and you're forced to make the first move every time. Women judge fast. Consciously or unconsciously, they're asking, is he attractive? Is he confident? Is he socially aware? And is he interesting? And can I actually picture myself with him? That's what they're thinking when they're essentially going through your profile. I can't stress how important it is that a woman messages you or likes you first. It immediately starts that dynamic off as she's the one chasing you, which gives you all the leverage and the ability to guide the conversation from first message to phone number effortlessly. So my 5-stage process. So I use a 5-stage process that I created through trial and error to go from first message to phone number. This process works. I also call this like the diamond system as well, because it essentially starts from the top, widens up, and then goes down to the last message, which is obviously shooting for a number. So stage one, we have contact initiated. So the woman makes the first move. Stage two, preset message. So your first message. Stage three, determine her interest level, so assess her response. Stage four, get her invested, so back and forth flirty messages using magnetic messaging and the core four. Stage five, secure a number, shoot for a number. So like that's the 5-step process to go from first message all the way to getting a number. So what I'm going to do now is basically show you all the stages 1 from 5 with proof, so you know I'm not bullshitting or chatting out my ass saying like, oh, these, check out these 5 stages. Like, nah, I'm going to show you proof with real conversations with real women, all on my profile as well. So it'll basically, all the conversations will get unlocked by each step, so you can see properly how this works. So if we go into stage 1, so like I said, stage 1 is contact initiated, so the woman makes the first move. So as you can see here by the examples, these are all my prompts and the girls, commented on them. And then we have a couple of comments and like emojis on the photos that I got. So you're gorge, Connor, you look like a big heart, that emoji. And then again, some more prompts as well. So like I said, when you got the prompts dialed in, like you get these sort of responses, which just goes like you can easily type a message to that and just match instantly and get the convo going. That's the beauty in it. So when you craft a top profile, you literally never send out another like or comment, because there's just too many messages, too many options coming in, which is, a good a good problem to have. So the second stage is the preset message. So reply with a preset message. So what do I mean by that? So now that a woman finds you attractive and has made the first move, it's time to send your first message. This message should be already stored in your notes. So for each and every one of my photos and prompts, I have a pre-made line stored in my notes that I have ready to send her, depending on what she likes or comments on. So if I just show you what that actually means. So, when I took this photo, I essentially go, right, what's a good line when someone likes this? What's a good line to send them that's going to get the conversation going? So I thought, all right, don't worry, I'll hold your hand like I held this jacket when we crossed the road. So I'm holding a jacket by there. So I just thought, right, what do women like? Right, they like holding hands. So like, let me put that into a line. So that's what I mean about having a pre-made line that attaches to your photos that you can send every time. Like, I don't want to be sat here thinking of like a new, like with these many options, I don't want to be sat here thinking, right, what's a unique message to send every single time I get a like on a photo? I don't want to be doing that. That's crazy work. So this is what I mean about having a pre-made message to send on every single one of your photos that you have. So that's example 1. So example 2 is my tuxedo shot. So like I said, the girls make the first move, they like my photo, and then I come in with a line. So this is how you can expect me to look as your +1 to a wedding. Banger. So this, I know, performs really well because I've tested it. And you'll see now later on as the conversations go on, the girls love it as well. So this is another example of having a pre-made message. Like, it's not the same as this one because it wouldn't make sense. It's a different one for a different image. Hope that makes sense. Example 3, so this is my my 3rd or 4th photo, I believe. So again, the girls make the first move by liking your photo, and then you have a pre-made message to reply to. So it will be your handbag on the table next, and then her name. Always mention their name as well sometimes. So there's a handbag, but that's what I said on this message. So I said like you won't keep the same line forever. My preset messages have changed and evolved over time. So basically, what I mean is, when you got a line that you're sort of testing out, you'll sort of like assess their responses from that, and then you will go, oh, can this be better? Are they like, I'm not very, like, it's not getting me, that much great responses, and then you like sort of evolve it and craft it better, and then you put that new one in then, and then when you've got a winner, you essentially stick with it. That's basically what I'm saying there. So stage 3, determine her interest level. So basically assessing her responses. So after you send the first preset message, she will reply, and this is where you'll be able to determine her interest level. Was it a good reply, bad reply, a one-word answer, really detailed? Like that's what you need to look out for. If you're the one making the first move and like you've got good openness and stuff and got a bit of game about you, this becomes even more important because assessing her responses will literally tell you whether to carry on the convo or move on to the next, basically. You should definitely know by the third message if she's into you or not. So, example 1. So these are the same conversations from stage 2. So you can sort of see how I'm unlocking it, basically. So, showing the interest, my preset message, and then this is what I'm looking for now. I'm looking for their response to this message. So exactly what I'd hoping you'd say, only if you promise not to let go once we're across. Yes, please, with a bunch of heart emojis. So like, this is what you need to be looking out for. These are good responses. So now I can come back with more playful and flirty messages. That's how this works. So that's example 1. Example 2, back onto my tuck shot. So again, this is how you can expect me to look, blah, blah, blah. What a great photo we'd have if I was next to you. Haha, okay, setting the standard high, I see. Not gonna lie, I'd be pretty proud walking in with you as my +1 looking like that. Smiley face. Well, then fancy being my +1 to a wedding in September. See what I mean about these pre-made messages? Like, that is just, that no conversation is going to die now, because that's how they've responded to me. It's so positive, it's fun, it's flirty, it's playful, and like, we go on to the next message now. So that's example 2. And then example 3, or are we also holding hands? I'd like that, giving James Bond vibes. How many other handbags will be joining? So like, again, better responses as well. Just keeps it fun. This is how you should text, guys. This is what it should be like. So yeah, those are the examples. And now we're going to go on to stage 4, and I'm going to show you how this unlocks even more. So next is stage 4. So this is getting her invested. So back and forth flirty messages, building rapport, connection. So once we've determined her interest level is high, we then engage in a few back and forth flirty messages. This is where magnetic messaging method comes into play. The goal of this is to get her invested in you and the conversation, so when we ask for a number later, she hands it over with no hesitation. When messaging her, you should always think to yourself, how can I always deliver a message that is either fun, flirtatious, playful, or with a bit of teasing? I call this the core 4. When you do this, it creates a conversation that makes the woman want to keep messaging you back. So let's go through the examples. So let's go into the examples now. So, you've sent your preset message, you've assessed a response from that reply, and now you go into, the playful back and forth messages to make her feel comfortable, feel her type of way, let her know that you're not a fucking creep, stuff like that. You got a bit of game about you, this is where this comes into play. Now, I know that this is where most guys fall off and kill conversations because they don't know what to say. You don't know what to say because you've never been shown how to text, that's why. So I'm here showing you now. So, I'm not going to go through all these, but, I'll pause the video, go through them, have a good read, and learn how I say things, how I position my messaging, how I say different words that mean different things. Like, it's all part of, like, how you should text. I never ask questions. I never ask like, how her day is going, what did she study in uni, all that type of crap that most guys do. They don't care. Don't ask that stuff. They do not give a shit about any of that, so don't ask it. Because I know most of you guys do. So I'll just go through this one. So, only if you promise not to let go once we're across. Of course not. I need to protect you from any intruders, to not only the traffic. So again, playing on this line by ear. I'm holding her hand across the road. I'm sending the same message on the same topic here. I haven't gone away from the topic. It's all off that one preset message, yeah? Good, because I was hoping for a full-time bodyguard situation, not just a road crossing run. Well, it would be silly not to use this 6'2" frame for protection, wouldn't it? Well, and she said, very true, gotta protect this 5'3" princess. So, as you can see, really playful, really flirty, and it's all off that one preset message. So if I just show you these now, so you can get it, pause the video and read it. So yeah, notice how I talk and how I message. Yeah, digest it all. This one's a good one as well. This one's proper good. So I'll go through this one as well. So it'll be your handbag on the next banker. I'd like that, giving James Bond vibes. Then I'll be telling the waiter, shaken not stirred, when we order martinis, playing into the James Bond there. Then she said, smooth. I see you're a wine lover. We have that in common. Then we'd have some great conversations over a Pinot Grigio. And then she lifts off a bunch of wines and stuff. Tell me about yourself. Right, listen. Tell me about yourself. I am not going to go into that. No way. That's like, it's not a shit test, but like that, me saying about myself and like describing myself, one, removes the mystery and intrigue. And it starts a boring conversation. How was your day? Tell me about yourself. I don't do any of that on dating apps, any of that. So then I said, like, oh, you sound like a wine, da 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 da. I feel a little incompetent. And then I said, tell me about yourself, tall, dark, and handsome. Cocky ass reply. There it is. Like, I'm not trying to give her stupid details about how I am or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm not about that. So I'm sure you can compensate with your good looks. Forgot to add confident to that list. So she played into that well as well. So like she loved that. And like when your profile's a certain type of way and you talk like that, you can get away with being a bit arrogant and cocky. Yeah, there's a fine line, but you can still do it. So pause the video, have a good read of them, and that is stage 4. So the final stage, stage 5, and this is basically shooting for a number and securing it. So now it's time to shoot for a number. After you've flirted back and forth a few messages using magnetic messaging and the Core 4, it's time to move the conversation off the app. If you've executed stage 4 well, it should be really easy to secure a number. So like I said, still the same conversation examples from all the stages. If we head down the bottom, I like your thinking, send over your number, there it is. So how about you send over your number so we can do more flirting until then? Sounds like a plan, sends your number. Can't be flirting with me like that on a school night, Bianca. I thought you might add it. Let's go ahead and fill in the blank. Might regret this later, and that's your number there. So this is how you go from first message to phone number. Now, notice in these conversations how I don't send like 50 messages. It's 5 to 10. That's how long it should be till you secure the number when you go through these stages. We're not here to get to know them. We're not here to be their pen pal. I don't care. I just want to see if they're interested in me and then get a number. That's all it is. And then move them off the app, and then you start working the date logistics and stuff like that after you've shown a bit more thing about you. So like that's the 5 stages. So take it in, digest it, and if you want any help implementing this, if you just head to my IG at connor.pranky, give me a follow, DM me, and we can look to implement the system in your dating profile as well, and we can get things rocking.